Welcome to the Post Shift Podcast, your raw look at the hospitality industry, brought to you by SHC. What is happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Post Shift Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Shawn Soole. Today, I wanted to chat about something that has been sort of bugging me lately, because I've seen a few articles and I've seen a few YouTube videos about influencer marketing, how it's being demonized in the hospitality industry. Obviously, everything I do is mainly hospitality industry driven, whether it be drinks, food, whatever. And I want to openly disagree with it. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to openly disagree with it. Influencer marketing sort of got kicked off when social media first started becoming a thing. When people started getting the 10,000, the 100,000, the million followers, marketers saw this as an opportunity to leverage these people's popularity and use them to plug their products. As always, marketers fuck up everything and just juice the fuck out of any new concept they possibly can, and then ruin it for everybody else. So they started hitting up these people, and then of course this bred a entitled mentality of these influencers building this sort of faux culture, this faux environment of bots and buying followers and all this sort of stuff, that now you start getting this sort of demonized, like, well, I'm an influencer on Instagram because you have 15,000 followers. So this, like, the concept of influencer marketing was demonized by the people who wanted to utilize it and leverage it as a tool to create a marketing strategy for brands, especially on social media. Why do I still think it's not as bad as it is? Because back in the day, it was used as like this sort of easy route. It was an easy route to get a bunch of likes, to get some photos up on Instagram. And people took that easy route because they want to take the path of least resistance. And so all of a sudden it became this like, oh, if I do X, I'm going to get Y way quicker. And I can actually like register that as an ROI because I get more followers. I get more people liking my page. I get more people liking my photos. So on and so forth. So everybody who was a part of this influencer marketing strategy is all at blame. The marketers created something that turned into a beast. The influencers themselves began making that an actual job when it's not. You have a job that then you influence things. You cannot be, in my opinion, you cannot be an influencer wholly and solely. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. And then the people who utilize these influencer marketers made it so it was fucking easy. They wanted it to be the path of least resistance to get a bigger ROI, especially on social media. So everybody screwed the pooch when it comes to influencer marketing. Do I think it still needs to be used? 110%, and I'll tell you why. There is more outside of our little bartender, bar, restaurant ecosystem in the way of the marketability of it all. There is more outside of our ecosystem than there is inside the ecosystem. And what does that mean? I've talked about like market share of cocktails and high-end booze and stuff like that a number of times being like a 10% saturation point, where 10% of the total market gets what the fuck you're doing. I'm swearing a lot today, which is odd. 10% understand the fuck what you're doing. The other 90% don't. They still drink Bud. They still go to parties and shoot Jaeger. They don't understand cocktail culture at all. And I'm going to give you an example of someone who is an actual influencer and has made a ton of money out of it. And most of you hate him. If you're a cocktail bartender and you follow me for my cocktail bartending stuff, you're probably going to hate this dude because he goes against everything in our very being of being cocktail bartenders. And that's Tipsy Bartender, who I have to give a shout out because he's cultivated such a massive culture around that 90%. The 90% of the market, the ones that have college parties and build stuff in eskies with a tap on the front. He caters to that. So he caters to the 90% while we cater to the 10. So who's going to be doing more of the influencing? I can tell you right now, it's him. And if you go and watch his videos, please look him up on Facebook and YouTube. His videos and everything and don't get me wrong, I don't like the cocktails whatsoever. He's entertaining as hell, but his videos get thousands of shares, hundreds of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of comments of people loving this stuff, tagging their friends saying we should make that this weekend on the boat and all this sort of stuff. So what my point is here is that Who are you trying to influence your brand towards? Where is your leverage? If you're a brand and you want to hire an influencer, it comes down to research. Just like any other marketing strategy. You wouldn't be going on TV or radio, which I disagree with these days is actually a viable source of marketing, but you wouldn't be going onto those platforms without some serious research, some ROIs, some like tangible evidence that being on these platforms is going to pay off. Same thing with Facebook and Instagram. But why, for some reason, do we feel like as brands, we think that we're just going to hire someone that's automatically going to give us great praise? And this is where then that feeds that trolley sort of Instagram influencer. It feeds that Instagram influencer because they feel like it's a market that they can just take advantage of. And so it's got to be a symbiotic relationship. Using influencers to leverage your brand into a new market is something that is very, 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 very efficient and fulfilling if you pick the right person. Like, if you got a weird little liqueur that you want more young cocktail bartenders to use, find someone. It doesn't really matter about the followers. It really doesn't. Like, do little micro bartenders who can do stuff with your brand. I've got some little BC craft distilleries here that have reached out to young bartenders and they've made cocktails, and that's how it sort of creeps into that 10% sphere. But if you really want to get some serious, like big returns, really research the person you want to use. If an influencer marketer comes to you and says, I really love your place, blah, 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 pay me for such and such, research them. It's very, very simple. There's tons of tools. Go and do an audit. Type in Instagram profile audit. You'll get a free website. You type in their Instagram handle. It'll tell you everything. What the demos are, when they post, how often they post, what their favorite posts are. You can literally research this thing. That's one freaking step, one search tool. So these are the sort of things I talk about. Like, why do we look at influencer marketing as something that should be researched as heavily as every other marketing strategy and platform? So you have to find people that align. You have to find people that have a following that you want to align with. Big thing as well. Not just random 22-year-old college kids when you're trying to sell a 25-year-old scotch. Research, see how they actually perform. They may have 150,000 followers on Instagram, but if their videos and their pics are only getting like 150 likes, there's obviously means that they probably bought followers. They don't have good engagement with their followers, so on and so forth. These are all easy stats you can pick up. So I think that you can use people as influencers. Victoria Food Guys, in my opinion, here in Victoria, they did a local blog. They did it because they were passionate. They have restaurant influencers now. Not that they're going to call themselves that, but when they do a piece on a restaurant, on some food, it automatically makes that restaurant more popular. If I do a piece on BC Spirits, 9 times out of 10, the sales spike in that. Am I an influencer? No, I'm passionate about BC Spirits. If you go into this, and this is directly to influencers that might be listening to this. If you think you're an influencer, you're fucking not. Be good at what you do, and the brands will follow. This is a very simple rule. If you have influencer in your fucking Instagram handle, get it off. Be a bartender. Be a good bartender. Post your pics of your cocktails. Tag the brands you like working with. These are simple things that the brands take notice of. If you're just going out to make money, again, I've talked about passion versus money. If you're going out to make money, this is not going to work for you. Give it up. The years of influencer bullshit, just asking for money for a post, you don't have that pull anymore unless you're really, really, really specific to the brand you're actually pitching to. So brands, research your influencers. Influencers, don't be dicks. That's the end of my episode this week. Hope you have a good week, guys. See you soon. Bye. Thanks for listening, Pose Shifters. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I really enjoy sitting down with friends and peers and just chatting about the industry and getting down to the nuts and bolts of what's really going on out there. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, everything on all the platforms. Just hit it up and I'll do my best to answer any queries or questions you have. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.